Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So big move down on Monday, and then Tuesday we formed an inside bar. So this is typical. As I said to you, could have been an exhaustion bar, but it was a close below this weekly level. So that's 14,837. That is the weekly breakout that we have. The daily has come down. The oscillators are coming down to a nice grouping. Every time they group down here, they do rally. So we've got a crossover now of pretty much all three moving averages right now. So almost convincing that the trend is down. We should be waiting for pullback onto structure and then riding this thing to wherever it is going to go. Now, I suppose the real challenge at the moment is when you start looking at the lower time frames. You can see the 3 hours a nice grouping pointing to the upside, nice strong move up, bit of a pullback, and we have formed a higher low. So there's the first low, there's a higher low. No real divergence to speak about, but everything hinges on what happens here at 14,837. Could be a double bottom forming, but typically when these kind of patterns form on the DAX, it's a lower probability than playing out. So often you see a double bottom on the DAX and you go for the trade, and it actually just continues in the direction. So for me, the DAX is more of a channel type trade, and a bit of a messy channel, but nevertheless that is the start of the channel as far as I'm concerned. So I would definitely be interested in shorting off 14,837. If that fails, then the next level would be up here at 14,966, and then obviously 1,500 would be a nice round number, which would be where most of the sellers would be sitting. If we start getting down to the time frames and just seeing what the narrative is, you can see here, nice strong engulfing bar. Looks like a cup and handle forming, double bottom, multiple different patterns. But personally, I just think you're probably looking at another little channel here, or a flag. So a bit of a move up onto structure, and then I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. So that's kind of my view at the moment. This pullback here, let's get that perfect. That is more than likely the area I would be paying attention to. So that's around 1,500. That's 14,980. That's definitely the area that I'd be looking for a move to the downside. So unfortunately, this is all driven by politics and politicians' egos at the moment. So this is what you need to pay attention to. Watch what happens in this zone. If you start getting some bearish price action here, it's well worth taking the trade, and I would do that on the 15 minutes. So if you look at yesterday, there wasn't really any structure off the 15 minutes to speak about. We do have a bit of a crossover. We are below the 155, but I'd be watching to see what happens here. Look at the grouping of the oscillators as well. If you start dropping below this swing low here, 14,500, then I would reckon you're definitely going to be testing the bottom of the bigger channel, which would be at 14,200, and it's going to be around, I'd go for 14,200, 14,192, and then 14,170 may be tagged, but I think 14,200 would be a nice round number. So that's kind of the view that I've got at the moment. What you have to wait for is just wait for that first hour of pre-market trading. That should give you a range, and then I'd pay attention to the break of the range. If it breaks the upside, you probably find the range will give you the target of where your entry should be for a continuation to the downside. If we start finding support above yesterday's highs and we don't get below that, and we start sort of forming some bullish price action off that, then your move is pretty much guaranteed to come up to the top of the channel to 1,500 for the day. So that's your range today. Either dropping down to 14,200 or you're getting to 1,500, and then maybe dropping back to 14,700 area. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be ranging. There's going to be no direction until the politics are sorted out. So you're going to need to be down on the 15, even 5-minute charts if you've got time for that, and trade accordingly to that. Anyway, that's kind of my view today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.